Welcome to the Health Solutions for the Wired Life radio show. Our radio show dedicated to empowering all computer users to get a solution to the health problems inherent in today's wired life. This is the number one health issue for the 21st century. My name is Adetutu Joshi. I am talking to you from the Vauxhall area of Union Township in New Jersey, here in the United States of America. I'm a coach, author, consultant, and speaker on health solutions for the wired life. I help people to understand the wired life, what goes on in their bodies when they're using computers and or computerized devices such as cell phones, iPads, and so on. You never thought those were computers, right? But they actually are. This radio show is taking place at 6 p.m. today and will take place every Friday evening unless there are programming changes. We will be continuing where we left off last Friday. If you did not listen to that broadcast, I urge you to do so after this one so you can fill in the gaps. I would first like to remind us of some fundamental facts which I will keep on repeating each broadcast to help keep us focused, okay? First off, all of us work for a living either for ourselves or in our businesses, and our intention is to do so to live. However, because of the ignorance about the wired life we are all living, its effect on human health, and the preventative and management measures that must be in place to minimize it, many of us are really working for a living to die, or at best, live damaged lives. Secondly, the adage knowledge is power is perhaps truest in the issue of health solutions for the wired life. You must, however, first obtain the knowledge to access its power. Thirdly, computers are here to stay. We have so become dependent on them that humans will continue to use computers until our Maker rescues us from what we have unleashed upon ourselves. Fourthly, the computer is a dangerous tool like a knife. And just as we have to learn to use the knife in such a way that we're in the driver's seat all the time, so we must do with the computer. As losing control to the knife is suicide, so is losing control to the computer. Consequently, on these shows, I will be giving the audience an understanding of various aspects of the wired life and the health consequences, as well as the solutions provided for us in nature by our Maker. Last week, we continued the conversation I started 2 weeks ago about two issues I recently read about in the news. First, I read that in addition to the increasing incidences of ADHD amongst our young ones, doctors are now beginning to see a growing rate of slow cognition. Secondly, I also started a conversation about the increasing rate of stroke in people in their 30s and 40s. As I said, I will keep on telling us, these are all very interesting developments whose advent can be directly connected to the advent of increased computer use. I'm going to continue the conversation today. Over the last 2 weeks, I have provided some background information about how the human body operates and how the balance of biochemicals in us determines our actions and abilities. The convenience we get from computer use comes at a cost we need to factor in when taking advantage of the convenience being provided by our computer use activities. So we are in control and not under the control of non-living things. We must always remember we are living computer systems operating within the computer system of nature. In fact, the use of computers can be described as the outsourcing of human functions and activities to non-living things. Of course, there will be a problem as the non-living things have no life to enable them perform the functions without our participation. To get a proper perspective and understanding, let's think of it this way. We wage war against control by others, but we just yield to being controlled by non-living things during computer use without a fuss. Hence, the control we run away from, we freely enter into. While control by living things can help us, control by non-living things are a gross violation of our coded way of being that results in self-destruction, as it prevents our activity and self-repair functions from operating properly, causing damage to our human systems, including the ability to take right decisions. We're still on the subject. Remember, we're still on the subject of how and why there is an increase in slow cognition arising from computer use. One effect of slow cognition is actually computer addiction. It is our inability to recognize and take action concerning incessant use of computers that leads to addiction. Slow cognition leads to computer addiction, which leads to more damage. It's a cycle. In fact, the use of computers in many cases involves more stress than normal. And evidence of slow cognition in adults and children alike is the fact that we have convinced ourselves that the monetary gain in outsourcing our human activities and functions to computers, to non-living things like computers, outweighs everything. That the monetary gain outweighs everything, and that the results are better. We do not count the health and social costs, in addition to other costs. That is evidence that we are unable to handle truth and are unwilling to take responsibility for our lives. This responsibility we try to outsource to computers, who cannot handle the nanny function we expect them to carry out. Consequently, if we fully analyze the so-called monetary gains, they may not really exist, but we have already boxed ourselves into a corner from where we cannot of ourselves back out without divine intervention. This is something we are all going to have to live with until our Maker rescues us. Here we will stop today. Next Friday, we will continue where we stopped. To get more understanding of these issues, please get a hold of my books, starting with the first one, Lessons I Learned the Hard Way. There are 15 books right now, and I'm writing my 16th. They are all available at Amazon.com in print and in ebook format for most ebook readers, including Kindle, iPad, Sony, and so on. Also, visit my website, www.foodsthathealdaily.com. The name Foods That Heal Daily is a combination of 4 words. The word foods, that is the plural of food, the word that, the word heal, and the word daily, that is FOODSTHATHEALDAILY.com. There you can find more information. You can also direct people to these sites to help themselves too, as well as purchase my books through the book gallery on that site. I have a second website, www.computeragehealthrisk.com, but which I will inform all of us about on this show when that site becomes available. Meanwhile, please go to www.foodsthathealdaily.com to get more information and to purchase your books, and you can direct others to there, or you can go to Amazon.com or get ebook forms of all the books. Come by again next week. If it's Friday at 6 p.m., it's time to learn more about the wired life and how you can protect yourself. Contact me by email at adetutuijoshe, that is my first and last name, at gmail.com, or you can use computerblessings@gmail.com. And see you again next week. Meanwhile, share this broadcast with all you know in every way you can. Share the YouTube link, video link, let it go viral, and let the media begin to talk about this issue. And let there be a national and global conversation that saves many lives, including yours. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Until next time.